Yes.
So, let's see.
That's beautiful. Is that your own?
Yeah.
It's an
So this is the
ascension
one that,
chamber. Explain this.
yeah. Yeah. So basically it's consisting of like 7 parts right now, but it's usually 5. So it starts off with the Gaia sphere, which is like 5 or 6 different tensor rings, and I'll explain what a tensor ring is
Okay.
in a second. But it's 6 tensor rings into a sphere that. So it's got like I forget the name of that. So it's basically like a star in each quadrant, and then you got the everything. There's a little ring right here. Let's see. Everything ring, and then we got
Oh yeah.
harmonization ring. Got a crystal just chilling up there. Wings
Wow.
of talk, cosmic sun disk, and so all these pieces. These are like tensor rings. So like this one. Oh,
Are these all little pieces
within
that you've
within this
accumulated,
ring.
or did you buy this all in one big piece? Oh, did I lose you?
Yeah.
Shoot, I think I
But
lost you, dude.
let's see.
Hey man,
How about
are
let's see.
you hooked up to your Wi-Fi?
Mic check, mic check. I just did.
Oh, got it.
How's that?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds way better.
Is that a little better?
Oh, for
Okay,
sure. For
beautiful.
sure.
So yeah, like this kind of looks like a giant hula hoop, right?
Yeah.
Well, the idea is you get a piece of copper wire, you fold it, or I should say, yeah, you fold it, and then you connect it to a drill, much like this setup, and
Oh
then you
yeah.
chalk it to there, and then you twist it using like the right hand spiraling fashion, clockwise. There we go, clockwise position of the drill,
So that's
and it
what braids the
twists.
copper wire.
Yeah, that's what braids the copper wire, and then you fuse it together. And if you cut it to a sacred cubit measure, these cubit measures are like the pyramids in Mexico, for example,
Uh-huh.
or the pyramids of Giza in Egypt, or there's pyramids all around the world, on the
Totally.
moon, even
Yeah.
different planets.
Antarctica.
Yeah, all over. And so the idea is that they get these etheric templates. So you get the copper wire, you twist it, and as you're twisting it, you're energetically anchoring in that qubit frequency measure into it. So it's the functional device through the astral layer, anchored in through the astral, right? But the idea is you get that piece of copper wire, you fold it onto itself, and it's creating a field of energy that is neither electric nor magnetic, but it's infinitely harmonious for all life forms. And so actually, if you want to start, maybe we can do a quick little heart space breath.
Yeah.
Drop
Start
into our
without
heart.
it.
Yeah, dude. And so like that's the idea, is this ascension pyramid is holding a space that we as physical beings, as antennas on this planet, can already access, but they're much more like training wheels, right? So you get used to it, and then you can hold this same level of space by simply dropping into your heart. So
it's a cool analogy.
yeah, so with that first breath, you just imagine using your attention, dropping that seat of consciousness, usually seated behind the pineal gland. Imagine dropping that into your heart. And with that first breath, imagine connecting your heart to the heart of Mother Earth and just taking a deep breath in. And then that second breath, imagine connecting your heart to the heart of all of creation. Source, soul, creator, God, however you choose to see that and say it. Breathing those energies into your heart, letting those energies settle into that sacred space of your heart. And then that third breath, imagine connecting earth, sky, and you, grounded, guided, and connected into the sacred space of your heart. And so the idea behind all this is the heart is a much more powerful quantum field generator than the mind. The mind can more often than not get in our way, right? It's a super powerful thing, but in my experience, too much of the mind, I end up running into walls that I self generate, ironically.
Yes. No kidding.
But but yeah, so like the idea is like, something as simple as, just this, a ring, right?
Hmm.
But the idea is we as physical beings are only seeing like 4% of this, cosmic experience being physical, they say, that's like the percentage that they're giving. So
Where does that number
96
come
per
from?
some quantum physicist, I forgot who it is, but the
Okay.
crazy thing is like all these quantum physics and quantum theories are just shattering these old paradigms of belief. And then, either way, we're evolving, we're ascending, we're experiencing things we don't like, but in reality those could be the things that we're creating anyways for ourselves to evolve and adapt. So I feel like everything's medicine. And something as simple as this little hoop, they've done studies where you put this tensor field, it's basically creating a column of light. So wherever this, there's like certain ways that you could see this, like through Carillion photography, which is or GDV photo imaging. So it's like they get like a crazy like electro
Mm.
microscope or electro, some filter for the thing, and then they take a picture of it and you can see like some sort of energy that's, around this. But the idea is there's this column of light and you can drop these columns of light, just drop it into your heart, right? And then you're in that more coherent field, basically.
Mhm.
Because either way, like we're creating our reality based on how we're thinking, how we're feeling in every given moment, right? And so when we're experiencing something we don't like or some dis-ease, it's just because there's a block of flow in either our energetic body or physical body. Like there's no separation, right? So it's kind of cool because simply, drop it into your heart. Like I just went through what is it, like a guided meditation, right, that I found that a buddy sent to me on my phone. And I was just laying under this thing for like 45 minutes and I completely teleported to like different planets. Like, like fucking this thing turns into a UFO studio food truck and I'm just like whoa, 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 through the cosmos. But back to where I was going at, they did studies with these tensor rings, and basically, you whenever this field gets around any source of water, um, the molecules in the water start to spiral and vibrate and become smaller molecules, so that they can actually access fully into every cell of your being. And also, like let's say this is some water that's like regular city water. Of course, we're drinking that good the spring artesian, but let's say it's like city water and it has a lot of contaminants, a lot of pollutants. They're finding that by placing there's basically a quantum field generating tool that can restore water back to its original state. So like let's say you put this tensor ring around some spring water. Spring water has high amounts of minerals and things like that. So the minerals actually, if you were to leave one of these tensor rings over water, it actually can create ormus, which is like a term called orbitally rearranged elemental molecules, which is basically like super elements. They're like kind of off the charts of periodic table. So you have like gold, silver, copper. Those are like the main, it's like the main metals usually, and they can become monoatomic to where they would study the, like it kind of turns into like a white gold type thing, and they would study it and they would heat it up and it would go negative on the scale.
Mm. Hmm.
So like it's so there's like all these things where you can test it and you're figuring it out and you're seeing all these different people's research, like Victor Schauberger, for example, the
Mhm.
Austrian forest ranger. Geez, I think he was like in the 1800s or early 1900s, but he created this egg vessel, and it's actually sitting outside of the window at our warehouse. There's like an egg vessel when you pass by, and so that's an egg that he designed. It's his model. It's called a Schauberger egg. And so the idea is if you put water in this type of vessel, whether especially the egg shape, like shapes are really the thing. What happens is the water starts to accumulate more life force within the water because of the shape. That's why the egg shape is such a powerful like symbol in nature, because it accumulates so much life force. So if you think about it, we're like these antennas that are receiving and transmitting this cosmic spiraling energy that's all around us, permeating all around us. And based on our levels of perception and experience and, you know, how we think and how we feel, that's what we're experiencing and receiving and transmitting to ourselves and to the entire universe. And so it's kind of crazy. Something as simple as, you know, sitting under a pyramid or, you know, drop it into your heart for a couple seconds completely changes how you experience your reality, right? Like for a long time, I was caught up in just chaos, the struggle's real, you know, down in the dumps, just habitual victim mentality, basically, right? Because that's all I knew. I was just on these loops of programming. So I found like using different styles of meditation, you know, whether it be breath work or dropping into your heart or more woo-woo stuff like crystals and light beds and, you know, red light therapy, cold shock proteins, like whatever way we can do it, there's infinite ways to better ourselves. And for me, this is one of the ways that I like resonated with. And this pyramid, I met this dude. I didn't know him like at the time, but he's like one of my really good friends now. But I saw this dude on YouTube and I was like, oh, how to wrap copper. Like I searched on YouTube like 3-4 years ago. And then it popped up with a video on how to make the little elemental symbols, but only one of the elemental symbols. And so I figured out how to make the other 3 elementals. That it started with water. That was how to wrap it. Geez, I don't have one right now, but it's like the Hetica Triskelion that people have been making for thousands of years, just like intuitively. Like it's an ancient Atlantean symbol, and like fishermen would even like make it out of like twine or whatever they have, and then they would throw it into their fishing buckets, and the fish would actually live longer. And so my buddy had, you know, he also makes tensor rings, and he's the one who made this, but he had started with making this little symbol of elemental called Hetica, or the Triskelion, or the Triscale. And that it's a powerful symbol. You know, symbols have power. Like everything that we're experiencing in our life, like for example, myths are stories that have never happened but are happening all the time. And so these symbols that, you know, in our life, most symbols we know, more importantly, like, or not really importantly, but just that are so saturated in our consciousness would be like, you know, Coca-Cola or like these massive corporations, right? Those are massive symbols that are just like etched into our consciousness due to like heavy brainwashing and programming. But there are these ancient symbols that like we can resonate with, like for example, this right here, this is like the flower of life. So this is a piece that was like custom made by my buddy and actually his sister. So they do majority of the energy work, and they have a company called Twisted Sage Studios out in South Dakota. But anyways, this symbol right here, this is the flower of life. This sick. Was a crop circle. Dude, this was a crop circle in like 2009 or 2010.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And they were just popping up everywhere, these flower of life symbols, right? And what this actually is, this is just fundamental geometry. Mm-hmm. This is like, they call it sacred geometry, but in all reality, it's just like, this is the building blocks for all life. This is like what an atom is if you look at it from like a 2D perspective, you know? And yeah, so it's just like, it's super crazy that we have so much access, and we're so you know, infatuated by distractions, and we're not like super geniuses. Like every single one of us could like have the potential to just be like super genius.
We should be,
like,
right? We were like, meant to be.
We are. And then the irony of like we have to work all the time, but we're living in an age where you would think that we would have the most amount of leisure time and would just be chilling, you know?
And yeah, we're only using 10% of our brains, according to Einstein. You know, it's like there's 90% more that we could be accessing, but yeah, we just go to work every day, come home, medicate ourselves because we don't like our jobs, and then go to work the next day. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. and the hustle continues, you know. But always. I remember where I was leading with that story. See, anyways, this symbol of the water elemental. So I figured out how to make the water elemental, and then I figured out how to make the wind elemental, which is Plymela. Figured out how to make the air elemental, which is Kalim. And then the last one, or the second to last one, is the fire elemental, Chesel. And then the fifth one is ether, and that's the one that I like most resonate towards. It's like the elemental for space. It's like it's everything and everywhere, and it has no name. It's just ether. So yeah, it's basically space. And so I intuitively started just like figuring out how to make these and figuring out how to anchor and access these etheric templates, which, by the way, the coolest thing is like, it's you have to like put your ego out of the way for a lot of these like energy healing modality things, right? Like especially with the with the angelic Reiki that I do, right? Like the only way that it works is if I believe that it works. But if I'm second guessing myself and believing that it's, oh, did it work? And, you know, then it's not working. So it's like, you have to just 100%, you know, there's this great saying in Reiki, it's not my will, but I will. So it's like beyond you, you know.
Totally.
And anyway, so that's like the universe, right? Like all of a sudden I figure out how to make these, and then I bought a tool from their store, and it was like the golden fire generator. And so it was like a bracelet that could turn into like one of those spheres.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Up there. And just like started taking pictures and just doing all kinds of like just network marketing kind of for them, but not really marketing, just like shouting them out just because I'm just so passionate about it, and just completely changed my life for the better. And all of a sudden he's like at my house like a year later, and like he's dropping this off to me.
That's cool.
And he's like, just pay me when you can.
Nice.
And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And the irony, bro, the irony of it all was like a year before, when I had like recently bought that golden fire generator, I was talking with this other dude that like just appeared out of my life, just hit me up on Instagram. And he's this like ex like war vet, but super cool dude. And he lives in Centennial. But he's like, yeah, bro, I want to get a bunch of pieces from you, you know, like the Hedeca symbols and stuff. So I made him like 10 Hedecas, like 10 rings. Like I made him a bunch of stuff and then dropped it off to him. I remember I was talking to him one day in his living room, and I was like, yeah, dude, I just don't know why, like, you know, things got to be like so expensive. And like, you know what I mean? Like, dang, like I need these tools and shit. He's like, but I'm like, you know, the monetary aspect, because it's all consciousness, bro. Like it's all energy, you know, like if we're thinking that we don't have something or we can't afford something, that's a deep program, because we're manifesting everything that we want and need all the time, you know. So like if we're saying, oh, I can't afford that, then like that's a program. Like we need to cut that shit out of our head and cut that out of our consciousness, right? And then or you know, and then replace it with something where it's like, you know, I can afford, I am abundant, you know. That's the thing. It's totally a consciousness you know, game that we're in, and everybody's playing games. There's like the finite games that we're playing on the daily, and there's the infinite games that we're playing on the daily. it's like either way, like the only thing that matters is right here, right now, in the present moment. But it's easy to get distracted, you know.
Be here now, baby.
Yeah, dude. Just jam Ram Dass.
All right, dude. So well, dude, that's a 20-minute intro.
It's pretty heavy, huh?
No, I love it. Give us an intro. Tell us who you are, man.
I'm trying to dial it in. What's up, world? I am the Spaceman, Sam of the Sun. My name is Samson, Little Wolf Luce, and I am a 26-year-old luminal light being on this planet. Let's see. I'm a quantum metaphysician, light builder, energy worker, master on the park bench, and ancient etheric dream weaver.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
But in all reality, dude, I am the divine I am, and I am my divine manifestation, and the divine reflection of yourself.
Yeah. Are we just spiritual beings having a human experience? Is that what the secret to this whole thing is?
I would say yes and no.
Okay.
I would say it's both. Right? The other way too, the vice versa way too, because I don't know, like I know better, right? But I keep realizing that it's like an individual game, you know, like it's we're part, it's the I, the we, and the all. So we're of course the multidimensional faceted being that is, you know, us, that is based on, you know, past experiences, how we were raised, you know, our perception of who we think we are, right? And then there's the we, which is the collective version of us, which is everything and anyone, or everything and everyone, I should say. And then that's the all too. So yeah, it's the we and the all. So it's in my experience, bro, I think it's whatever we want it to be, like 100%, you know. Yeah. And in my choice, I'm feeling it's definitely, we're like infinite. Mm-hmm. Like we can't even put words to it, you know. Like putting words to it is just kind of like a disservice, you know. It's like that saying of the Tao, like the Tao that cannot be spoken. Like it has no name, but it's everything, right? Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely say it's like our perspective and our awareness, and either our ability to just like stay suffering, right? Because like that's part of it. Like the fundamental thing is like, okay, life is suffering, right? Like that's one overtone in our collective consciousness.
That's a big Buddhist saying, is that life is suffering.
Yeah, but also it's like, well, who says that suffering is suffering? Like we have to suffer, right? It's like, if you think red is red, but if I think the red is blue, then in my consciousness is blue, but for you it's red, right?
Right.
So it's like that. I think that's the alchemy thing. Like, I think we're here to transform the shit into flowers.
Well, I think everybody's path is different for sure. And there is no right or wrong, right? It's going to look different for everybody.
It's all experience, and experience, if we can integrate the experience, then it's wisdom, and that's priceless.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I think we're just here to gain, hopefully, wisdom, right? For the highest and greatest good, and be happy and fucking love ourselves, right? Because the other ways, I mean, you can do it, but it's like, dude, if you wake up in the morning and like you look in the mirror and you're like, go fuck yourself,
right?
You know, it's like, your experience might be a little
totally
uphill.
Right. Or you can look in the mirror and high five yourself and get on with your day, you know. Yeah.
and love yourself. But I always picture that, because it's like, you know, and I've felt it too, right? Like I've felt the depression or getting caught in the funk, you know, even still, right? Like,
well, that's kind of what I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, dude.
That's kind of what I want to talk to you about. So, and by the way, thanks for doing this. I know I changed the times around a couple times, so thank you, brother.
Oh, you're fine, dude. I love you, bro.
And this is episode 100. And so I wanted to bring you on. Yeah, buddy. I wanted to bring you on for episode 100 because if it weren't for you, I don't think I'd be doing this stinking podcast, you know. And it's crazy that I'm up to 100 right now, but you were the one that inspired me. You were the one that was like, I started a podcast last weekend. I'm like, really? You're like, yeah, I just started on my phone. And I'm like, whoa, okay. So I started looking into it and just kind of dove in, and here we are 100 episodes later. So
Aho, great spirit, dude. You're a G. I love you, bro.
Oh, I love you too, man.
I'm on like, I think I'm on like 20 or 21. I haven't been putting as much energy into it just because my energy is so diverted. And that's the thing too.
I can tell. You're all over the place.
Distractions, bro. I'm too
Way.
omnipresent.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's the thing. It can be in a bad mood, but that's also if you don't, if you go with the resistance, like if you resist the shit you don't like, just persist.
Yeah, it's true.
At one moment, you just gotta like, just say, you know what, fuck it, I surrender to
surrender.
You know,
yeah, that's the key
divine
word.
Order.
Yeah,
and acceptance. You know, acceptance. What's that line? Acceptance for the things I cannot change.
Yeah.
And what is it?
Part of the serenity prayer.
The difference. Yeah, the serenity. There we go.
Yeah,
the serenity prayer.
God give me the. God give me the serenity to accept the things I can. Shoot, you put me on the spot.
To accept the things I can change, and the forgiveness.
Accept the things I cannot change, And
the forgiveness to know the difference.
I've got it written down right over here.
I got it. So good.
Within arm's reach. But listen, dude, I've got a confession to make.
Send it, bro. I'm here.
So this morning we were supposed to do the podcast, and I told you that I had to go to a chiropractor because my back was jacked up. And that was partly true, but I got to be 100% honest. I didn't go to a chiropractor today. I need to see one, but really, I've just been struggling, dude. I've been depressed, like straight up. And it's only been the last couple of days. And I'm feeling much better now. I got up for a bike ride today. I got myself a nice little haircut, and I'm looking all cute under this hat.
Yeah, puppy.
But no, I just wanted to talk to you about how you sort of negotiate your own personal depression or low times, or because you seem like you're always freaking high. Sometimes so high I can barely even handle it, right? And I mean that in the best way, you know.
No, you mean? I don't think I can handle it. So
I'm sure. But that's what I was wondering is like, how do you negotiate those tough times? Because you've had tough times in your life. Your childhood wasn't exactly perfect. So if you wanted to get down and depressed and focus on the past, or even have anxiety about the future, I'm sure you could do it. It's in your ability. It's in your capacity. So is that something that you have to work on a day-to-day basis, or do you just always feel on like level 12?
Yeah, you know, man, it's it's definitely like a daily thing, you know, because where it's like some days are better than others, right? Of course, you know, like sometimes it's just like, all right, you know, I got whatever X, Y, and Z to do. It's, you know, a lot of work, whatever. You just got to bite the bullet, you know, get down in it. But I would say 100% more recently, it's been the ability and the awareness of seeing whatever, you know, that feeling is, whether it's like anxiety or worry or whatever, right? Just seeing it and detaching from it, or holding space for it, right? Holding some space, be like, all right, what can I do right now? Like a good example is, you know, I'll go stand outside and I'll go ground myself, right? I'll just go stand barefoot. I'll drop it in my heart like 80 to 100 times, depending on the level of the day. But I would say a grounding practice, or a daily ritual, right? To where it's, even if it's like 5 minutes that you got, right, where you could just stop and you just try to do nothing. Just, you know, like, of course the thoughts are gonna be, you know, it's like a hamster on a wheel, right? But I think that's the thing, because we're in this age of like so much stimuli and like just go, right? Like we get burnt out. And so taking however I can to rest, even if it's like 30 seconds to hug a tree when I jump out of the truck, right? Or gratitude too. Like just like even before this podcast, I like found part of a page in one of my books where I started writing down, like, I don't know, I had like 9 gratitude lines, right? And I just cranked out another 9 real quick. Something as simple as that, like even just getting a piece of paper and just writing down what you're grateful for, or even drawing it out. Like if you see it on a piece of paper, and even if it's a stick guy and doodles drawing waves, I think it's just however we can move that energy, because that's the thing. It's like it's easy to get caught into that loop, right? And it's like, fuck this, fuck that person, you know, whatever, right? Even ourselves, like, you know, start projecting to ourselves. So I feel like for me, yeah, it's what I try to do is just focus on gratitude, drop it in my heart, you know, because it's easy to get knocked out of our heart. That's the thing too. It's like there's so many things where it's like, oh, triggered, you know, like there's that saying, like even the most enlightened person, right, go spend a week with their family. It's like you're pulling your hair out, you
right
know? So it's like knowing that, we are in control of our actions and our reactions, and knowing that like it's okay to feel however we feel, to like really hold space and like, the most profound. And of course it's easier said than done. It's like, yeah, love the things you don't like, or be grateful for the feelings that you don't like, because like, and that, like you were saying, you're like about to do something, right? Whether you have to like whatever, go for a run or jump in a freezing lake or whatever, right? Something that you don't really want to do because you're comfortable, or you just don't feel like it,
Yeah, but mood follows action. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah,
it really
totally
does.
I would say just find a way to express and release in however way, even if it's like a great way is you do the vowels. So it's like this: hey, he, hi, ho, hoo, so it's similar, or like the musical scale. It's like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. And it's like, it's just something, however we can do it, whatever way that feels the best. And it's also too where it's like using our discernment to where it's like sometimes maybe you do just need to chill down and throw on a certain set of music and just switch your vibe up real quick. Maybe you do just need to sit down and like the only thing that's real is like that sound that's ringing back, like that, like what is real? Asking yourselves what is real. What was the other one?
I thought of the serenity prayer, by the way, so I got to get that out. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's something I've said a million times. I don't know how it slipped my mind, but that's it.
And that's another thing, because you just reminded me too, like something as simple as saying that.
Right.
That's a affirmative action of a vocalization of something. Like I think we forget how, and of course it's easy too, because we take so much shit for granted, right? We take breathing for granted, seeing, tasting, touching, feeling, thinking, moving, loving, everything between. We take it for granted because we're just, oh yeah, we expect it. We expect it to be there, right? And then whenever we feel disease or sickness or something knocks us out of our game, it's like, oh shit, it can like be a major notification in our awareness. But something as simple as saying, God is great, God is good, thank you for helping me do and be all that I should. Like I'll say that all the time, especially when I'm like lost in the sauce, let's say, right? Because truly I feel like life is a shamanic journey, whether we include plant medicines or we don't. And either way, there's like stimulants and substances that are all around us that could be called drugs. Like right now I'm sipping on like this crazy nootropic by Alpha Brain, but then I threw some freaking mushroom powder in there, so it's like, and not the magic ones, but the legal magic ones, the statmit 7. But that's another thing too, it's like think about it, like food, for example, right? Like
That's
think about it, like most people know that like diet soda is like not good for you, but like it's still getting bought in every day, like, or soda in general, or whatever the thing, you can label it as bad or not good or whatever, but it's like, okay, a good example is like canola oil. Like canola oil is not really good for you. It's like used in like, I think it's used in like machining or something like that. And then they were like, no, we need to get rid of this oil, and people have started eating it. So it's like something as simple as like canola oil, or you can switch to like coconut oil or like ghee or like grass-fed butter, where you're actually getting the fats that your body needs or whatever, right? Like it's all unique to our body type. But it's like, okay, the best way I like to say it is like you have the Mex weed, or the terrible like shitty weed, compared to like, oh, it's like the
Colorado
the great,
weed.
yeah, that Colorado good, or geez, what is it, like a terrible running shoe versus a good running shoe, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
what's the difference? It's like,
Everything.
well, I don't know. Maybe they spent more time engineering it and they use a different material that lasts longer or whatever, right? So it's like, it's organic. And so it's like, I think that's the thing too. We have so many options and there's so many distractions out there to where we get burnt out and we don't even know that we're burnt out, you know, because we're living in a society that's so focusing on working out and getting money and getting bread and, you know, getting the next shiny gold, whatever fucking thing, you know. Don't get me wrong, I love shiny things, but like, you know, to the level that like that's primarily what we're focusing on, you know. Like I had this epiphany today. I'm like, dang, all right, like apparently we think like 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, right? That's like a guesstimation. We probably think more than that, I would imagine.
I would think more than that. Yeah.
Yeah. But out of those thoughts, they say
I probably think of
that,
sex that many times in one day.
Oh, straight up. See, that's the thing too. And why is it? Because the subliminal imaging, because you pass by that billboard and there's like 70 different letters that say, go F yourself. But yeah, man, I hope I answered your question. I feel like
okay,
it's a personalized thing.
It is personalized, and those all seem like strategies to keep depression and anxiety away from you, right? That seems like strategies to keep yourself in a good mental place.
Okay. It's not even that, because you that's another like separation and illusion. Like we're not really pushing anything away, right? I like to think about it like include everything. Like just integrate it, you know, it's you, right? So like the very thought of like pushing it away, in my opinion, I feel like that gains more momentum for yourself to come and hit you again when you least expect it, right? But if you like hold space for it and integrate it, and you're like, okay, what can I learn? Like there's this great quote, it's let's see, I think it's Great Spirit, please help me to see the bigger picture, you know, something like that.
Okay.
Because if we look at it to where it's like, oh, we just got to kill it, right? Like we just got to, you know, like take it out, right?
Right.
Which it's deeply seated within our DNA. You know, it's like germs are bad, or you know, the killer's bad, but like ultimately that killer is an aspect of us.
For sure.
You know,
if you get rid of all
like,
the germs, we're eventually going to get sick.
Yeah. And like, you know, hit the capacities of evil that Hitler did are all within us, right? Like we all have those potentials, even if we want to deny it, you know, but then we also have the potentials to do the greatest good.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, it's like what direction are we leaning in? And if we're leaning in a direction and we're feeling any type of way, then it's just our medicine just helping us release, basically, you know, because it's like when you get when you get like road rash or something, like it hurts like fuck, but you got to clean it, you know. If you don't clean it, then it turns into or it could turn into an infection, right? And so it's like, all right, you got to get in there and kind of clean it. That'd be my analogy.
Yeah, I like it.
Love it. Just get over there and be like, come here.
It's gonna hurt, but you got to do it. You got to get in there. You got to clean that crap out.
Yeah, and then I think it alchemizes, it transforms, you know, because then it's like, oh yeah, that is an aspect of me, you know, like I have the inherent capacities to just be the world's greatest dick, but I'm not going to, or I'll try not to, you know.
Okay, so yeah, that all seems like a good way to keep yourself in a good mental place most of the time, right? And so if you're using all these tools, you can keep yourself mentally pretty healthy. But what happens if you slip on those tools and like a week goes by and you haven't meditated and you haven't journaled and you haven't done any breath work and you haven't gotten in a cold shower and you haven't exercised? Maybe your depression's just creeping in and you're not really even feeling it, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, you're just in the seventh circle of hell. Like, oh shit, too late, man. Here we are. Then do you ever let yourself get there? Or if you do, like, how do you accept it? Do you hold space for that seventh circle of hell, or are we looking for a way out of it? What do you do when you get to that point?
I definitely go there.
Good.
But yeah, I think what I try to remember, especially when I'm, deep into the thick of it.
In the throes.
Oh, dude, yeah, like, you're on that ninth ring of hell. It's like you've already burned all your clothes off. You're butt naked.
Oh,
You got
Dante's
scars.
Inferno. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. You're
dude,
just
Dante's
crawling
Inferno the
around.
fullest,
Oh, you're just
to
crawling
the
around on
fullest.
stumps through ashes.
Your seventh crucifixion. It's been heavy.
Yeah.
But
and then you got to
I
go to
would
work
say,
the next day. You know what I'm saying?
forgive yourself. I would say forgive yourself, bro,
Yeah.
because it's like there's this powerful practice. It's funny too, because it kind of just leads all to. It's like life is about a daily practice. Like, we're creatures of habit, right? So, Aubrey Marcus says, own your day, own your life. It's a good analogy.
Mm-hmm.
But even in that situation, it's like, okay, there's a beautiful practice called the Ohopo-Ono. And basically what you do is, I think it's a Hawaiian, I'm pretty sure it's a Hawaiian practice.
It's gotta be. It sounds like it.
Yeah, it does, right? Tiki torches come to my mind. But and volcanoes and hula hoop, or what is it, hula dancing,
and the Brady Bunch surfing.
Yes, dude, big old waves. Came through that wave. Whoa, whoopash. But so this practice, you basically look at yourself in the mirror, like get face to face with yourself in the mirror, and you say,
I already don't like
I
it.
love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry, as many times as you need to. I mean, hopefully you cry, because then you get to release a lot of energy. But yeah, so it's like it's a process. I would say it's like forgiveness, surrendering, surrendering to a higher power, right? Because if you think about it, we're not here by ourselves, so like when we are experiencing something that we don't like, or something that's kind of lingering, I am like a quantum metaphysician, so it's like some of these things could be attachments, could be entity attachments, like on some Ghostbusters type shit, like on the real, it could be, an aspect of yourself from previous incarnation, whatever, whatever you want to believe. But there could be some sort of stagnation in the energetic body. So it's like, okay, do I need to ground myself? Like, mental checklist. Am I happy? Wait. I think, yeah, am I happy? Am I healthy? Am I whole? But that's not the one. It was, am I home? I am safe. I am home. I am whole. Yeah. And so I would say, especially in those moments, is like, dude, we got to claim our divinity. And also, like I said, it's an individual process, because like if we're experiencing something that we don't like, it's like, okay, well, are we willing to have the courage to smoke out our fears and like not really analyze where that's coming from, because that can send us into a deeper rabbit hole,
Mm-hmm.
But like hold space, or create some sort of field where we can release what no longer serves us, and integrate and tap into what more of what does serve us.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when you're working out, right? Like you're working out a muscle, or you're training for an event, and you've been training for months for this event, right? If you've been training for months for, like, I don't know, 50K or something, you probably are going to do pretty good, especially if you've been training and running, like, I don't know, 10 miles a day or something like that, right? Like you're probably going to be okay because you've been training,
Mm-hmm.
But like if you just send it, no training, it's probably going to hurt,
Right.
So it's like, okay, maybe we just need and that's why I say a daily practice is really like powerful too, because let's say some wave of anxiety or depression does come at you, you're a lot more grounded in the astral realms if you have some sort of daily practice. So you're less likely a snowball could be coming at you, and you can be like fucking the last Airbender cartoon series,
Right.
and just like blast that snowball, and
you're trained for it. You're ready for it.
Yeah. So, but then even then, it's like you could have the most training in the world, and you know, you could be running next to a beach and a shark eats you, you know, like it's like, or a giant crab comes and fucking eats you, you know, or who knows, right? Like a bunch of tiny people come and kidnap you and they take you to Gilligan's Island, you know.
Dude, I think you're getting Gulliver's Travels and Gilligan's Island mixed up.
Oh yeah, there we go. It's Gulliver's Travels. Which one's Gilligan's Island?
Gilligan's Island is the TV show from the 60s where all those people were shipwrecked.
So it's like the OG Lost.
Gulliver's Island. You got to make your own show.
Gulliver's Island, bro. Yeah, the stories, or what is it? Spaceman Sam's guide to the, or a water shaman's guide to the universe, or just Mother Earth. But yeah, man, I would say it's definitely like a daily practice. Like in every single moment of every single day, we have the ability to see the divinity in every single person, place, thing, experience, or see the devil in every single person, place, or experience, right? So it's sometimes, I mean, I'm gonna agree with you, dude. Just, I mean, like sometimes we got to see the devil in things, you know.
Right.
But then also the, you know, that is the light bringer, you know, the awareness. It's like a cave, what was that? A cave could not see light for 10,000 years or 30 minutes, but you bring a match in that sucker and it's lit. That was the most recent guru line I heard. I was like, that doesn't even make any sense, but it's cool.
That's from a guru? You didn't make that up?
No, dude, that's from Paramahansa Yogananda, I think.
Oh,
wow. I've been going deep on him lately too. So like that's another thing. Like I switched my yoga practice.
What style of yoga are you doing?
I'm doing the Kriya style.
What's that?
Which is, it's you know that book, The Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda?
Yeah. That's
the style of yoga that he brought to the West.
Okay.
And so, dude, it's really powerful. It's cool.
So what types of things does it include? Like what differentiates it from like Bhakti yoga or Hatha yoga?
Well, I don't have like a lot of experience with a lot of different yoga styles, but what I did personally was I just searched on YouTube, of course, YouTube, right? Google's our mother and YouTube's our dad. But I searched on YouTube, like, you know, Kundalini, and so I found like 4 different ways that people did Kundalini, and so I took like the main one from the first video and like this dude's style, and then I added like 3 or 4 different styles to that one style, and then that included like affirmations, mantras, like stretches, body movement, ab workout, like a planking kind of, or it's 6 inches, so it's like you lift your legs up, and then affirmations, mantras again. And I would say the only difference between, so like all the different yogic techniques are basically body antenna tuning positions. So when you put your body in a specific position, of course, it's stretching these different muscles and stuff too. But what's happening is when you're in these different positions, you're basically turning into that different symbolic transceiver or transmitter for these cosmic energies, right?
Yep, I got you.
So the ones I'm most familiar with is like the Kundalini style, and who knows even what style, because I kind of got it from people who got it from people, you know. That's how yoga is, really. It's like people who got it from people who got it from people, unless you're getting it from the original master. But the one that I found on YouTube, which I'll send it to you. I thought I didn't send it to you. I'll send it to you later. But yeah, it's like a simple 10, 15, 20-minute practice, this new one that I'm doing. And it's less physical body movements and more like visualizing the cosmic energies flowing up and down your spine. So it's really cool. So like the Kriya yoga, or the art of super realization, that's what it's called. So to be a super realized individual, you're technically supposed to have like a guru, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, I mean, our gurus are the black mirrors that are our phones, you know.
YouTube,
And
baby.
yeah, and you know, we honestly have the power to be our own guru, and we are our own gurus, and we are all masters on this planet. That's why we're here. I think we're all masters of this thing that we call love. And it's just, you know, growth, and it's like the light is in service to the dark, but the dark is in service to the light. It's like the yin yang symbol, you know, it's like the Tai Chi symbol. And then things like this that send us beyond duality. Like right now, we're in a field, you and me and every single person watching this, we're in a field that is beyond duality. It's a space of neutrality. And so like the coolest thing is like, you know, we could call that 4D, 5D, whatever the human wants to label things as. But in all reality, it's just we are becoming more in tune with all that is, you know, or not. Right.
Right. I guess. Tune in or don't.
Yeah. Tune in or tune out. But yeah, so the coolest thing is where it's instead of doing all these different movements and affirmations and stuff, I'm basically just like meditating.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just, you know, I'm just like literally one of the things is you like hold your breath, you go, and then you just like basically do a stretch and just put your head down. This is like the second one, and then you do that on the other side, and then that's basically the only real body movement besides breathing and just imagining there's like a hollow tube in your spine, and you're just moving the chi or the cosmic energy into your body. So it's known as like magnetizing the spine. And so like the difference that I've felt so far is
you're trying to wake up that serpent snake in the bottom of your back, right?
Yeah, dude. Well, it's funny because like you would think that like technically that's what Kundalini does too. But the difference is like with my Kundalini, I had mantras and affirmations where I was stating things out to the universe, and then I was receiving those things back from the way that I would state them, right? And so that's like including affirmations. It's like, you know, that would set me up for my day. And I think the universe is a novelty generator, and so I think we get bored easy, and you know, we need like nostalgia, and we need like uniqueness. Like we crave that, you know, as human beings on this planet. When things get stale, it's like, okay, we got to like switch it up, change it up. And so that's what I did. I just felt this inspiration to switch it up and change it up. And so like instead of me stating these things out to the universe and like using my ego, right? Because that's kind of like what I felt like I was doing. I was going more at it with ego from the old way I was perceiving it, right? Even though I'm only like 2 weeks in to this new style. And this new style is me more just being the loving observer and also the loving like experiencer, right? To where it's like, okay, I'm full participatory in this life instead of like, oh, I'm like having to like shift the chaos. I was like, no. It's like, I'm the master that is here right now. And I'm just opening myself up to all that is and the magic and mystery of life, you know? So in my experience, it's like I like took off the glasses, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it's
you're like,
oh,
you're the passenger.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the driver, but I don't have to worry about driving so much.
Right.
I can just sit back and enjoy.
Did I ever tell you about the time I went to a Kundalini school?
No, you got to tell me, dude.
Oh, dude. So this is like 5 years ago. I had just quit drinking, right? And so I was raw. Like I'm feeling all these insane feelings because like been drinking too much my whole life and decided it was time to make a change. And so I'm like a month into this thing and I'm just raw as can be, feeling everything, you know, not smiling very much, being too serious, you know, and just trying to kind of white knuckle my way through this at first. And so I just met Beth, and she got like this free coupon thing to go to a Kundalini school on a Friday night. and we had been dating for just a little while. We didn't even know each other that well. We're like, all right, let's go check this yoga school out. And so it was a Friday night. We go in there, and you know, everybody in there is wearing white, and there's like a almost like a guru that has like a white turban on their head, and we're like, okay,
Nice.
this is a little weird. Like, this isn't the yoga that I'm
Is
used
this a
to,
cult?
right? Yeah, right. What's gonna happen in here? And so, you know, we start doing all these crazy breathing exercises. I'm sure you're familiar with them, like, and your arms are going
like
crazy.
Breath of fire.
Breath of fire. Yep, we did that. And then all of a sudden, the guru pulls out a guitar and goes, "Okay, I hope you guys don't mind, but we're gonna spend the next hour and a half dancing." And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It was just like the one night of my life that it was so far out of my wheelhouse. Like, the last thing in the world I want to do right now is dance with these people. I'm like, no. I'm like, all right, I can't. I looked at the door and I thought about just bolting, right? And I'm like, okay, I think I can do this. Let me hang in here and see how this goes. So yeah, man, we just got down and danced, and it was totally crazy. And you know, I see what they're trying to do, like through the dancing, and people are jumping up and down, and the crazy breathing exercises and everything they're doing. They're trying to move energy around, right? And it makes sense to me, but yeah, man, I was just in this spot where I didn't want to do any dancing, and I'm like, oh God, here we go, man. It's gonna be a long night.
That's hilarious, bro. Yeah, you got tricked, bro. It should have said ecstatic dance, not
yeah, totally. That's what it was too. Just like, oh my God.
Dude's all over here doing the spaghetti, and then you got
Yeah.
another homie over here doing the squid.
Oh, don't get me wrong. There's a bunch of beautiful women in there, but yeah, there's like 4 or 5 really awkward white dudes that can't dance at all, that are just going crazy. And I'm
Doing
like,
the sprinkler.
yeah, and like, I'm one of those guys. Oh, so
Do the
bad.
Nefertiti. Dude, that's hilarious. Yeah, man. This life is amazing, bro. The more I just keep realizing, I'm like, dude, like, we are so blessed beyond measure. But it's like, okay, what are we thinking about? Where is our intention? Where's our attention? You know?
Mm-hmm. Where is your intention? Like, what are the things that you try and focus on to, I don't know, move forward in life, or to get yourself to that next spiritual level, or whatever it is you're trying to do? Like, what do you try and focus on throughout the day?
Honestly, like, I try to just show up every single moment of every single day, just like as fully present as I can. And more recently been trying to focus just channeling like unconditional love for every single person, place, and thing that I'm like, that comes into my field of awareness. And it really starts with just me choosing health, wealth, and cheerful co-creativity. Like, there's those affirmations where it's like, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard this saying where it's like, okay, well, if you're saying that, then the universe is going to come and check you.
Right.
so
That's when a satellite's going to fall out of the sky, and just, it's going to hit you, dude. Like, I'm the one.
Fucking cable man.
Right.
Yeah, like Jim Carrey. He's like out there on Bruce Almighty. He's like, smite me, almighty smiter. It's like, God is an angry kid on an anthill with a magnifying glass. it's like, yeah, like, the universe can be that way, but I've been realizing too, it's like, all right, what am I giving to this situation, right? What am I giving or taking, or amplifying, or intensifying, or negating, or whatever, right? Like, I'm 50% of every single relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 50% of the relationship with myself. I'm 50% of the relationship with the universe. I'm 50% relationship with my partner. I'm 50% of the relationship with every single person that I run into, And so my intention is mainly focused on, like, how can I be the best fucking possible version of myself that I can be? you know, because it's like I've experienced versions of myself that are complete demon. Like there's a demon that lives in here, bro.
Right.
But there is also a divine angelic being, which is the, vice versa. Right. There's no separation, So it's like, okay, I'm holding the tension of the opposites. I'm being the bridge of unconditional love and showing up to the best of my ability and treating every single person or thing or place or tree or whatever as the most important thing, because that's what I'm focusing on right now. For a long time, it's like, okay, multitask. And even now, still, it's like, okay, multitask. Like I was cleaning my house earlier and I'm doing like fucking like 6 things at one time. And I'm like, geez, all right, just like one at a time. And then they're done faster. It's like, well, we got to complicate shit so much as human beings on this planet.
Right.
It's like
Right.
simpler is easy. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want? Okay, you want that thing. Are you sure you want that thing? It's like, okay, yeah, I want that thing. And then a day goes by and you're on to the next thing.
Right.
And then that thing shows up for you in the least way that you would expect it, but it's the first thing that you ask for, not the third or fourth or fifth or eighth thing that you were already on that you're asking for at the current time, right? Because I firmly believe like whatever we're projecting out into the universe, which we're doing all the time, through our subconscious and our conscious mind. But it's like, okay, what are we projecting out? All right, it's coming back to us. So it's like, okay, fuck, how can I master every single moment of every single day and every single interaction and relationship? I feel like the most important thing on this planet is our relationships, to ourselves, most importantly. And then of course to everyone and everything around us, because it's like, dude, I could be the richest fucking dude on the planet, but I could hate my life,
Right.
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 Or I could be like literally, sleeping in a dumpster with my 2 gallons of milk, happy as fuck.
Right.
Because I got 2 gallons of milk, dog. And a blunt.
Isn't it funny how like that's what we focus on? Like we can celebrate the billionaire, right? But underneath that, his personal life might be complete garbage. He's on his 4th divorce. His kids hate him, but we celebrate him because it's like, whoa, this guy's successful.
He's got it made.
Yeah. And obviously I have a lot of runners on this podcast, but it's kind of the same thing. Like we celebrate like the David Goggins, who's like the toughest of all, and he's enduring the most pain and he can go the furthest. But is that really the point for everybody? Not necessarily.
No.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do the little things to do the big things, right? Which just that might be just like doing the next right thing. Like I'm going to choose water over caffeine or a soda or something. Maybe that's just the next right thing for me. Or maybe I'm walking down the street and I have to pick up a little piece of garbage because that's the next right thing for me to do.
Yeah. Right. And that's like the intuitive spark, like I think, so hear me out on this one. I think whenever we're experiencing anxiety or depression, I feel like it's maybe like a calling out of our soul. Like there's no separation, right? Because our mind and our body and our soul, they're one thing, right? But we have this idea that they're separate things. But I feel like when we're not fully expressing ourselves to to the fullest of our abilities, then I think these stagnation experiential data results pop up, right? And we know those as anxiety, depression, confusion, whatever. They can just creep up on you, And so it's like, fuck, where it's like, okay, like, damn, what do I need to do to just, feel a little better right now? Maybe I just need to go like lay outside, fucking just like take a moment and be like, whoa, like the magic and the mystery of life is that, I'm living right here alive on this planet right now, but at any moment somebody could with the flip of a switch could blow this entire planet up. Like it's like holy shit, like we are so blessed, like we got a roof over our head, we got water running through our sink, we got probably most of us have food in our fridge, And it's like, dang, dude, like maybe we're experiencing these things because we have it so made. Like we get bored with it.
Yeah, I know. I say it all with a grain of salt. It's like when I say I'm depressed or down, it's like Boulder white people problems, right? Like,
Yeah.
come on, how bad is it really? How bad is it really?
No, it's hilarious. But it's also, it's like, okay, well, it's like, okay, it's a notification, and it's like, what can we do to feel better and be better? Because I think that's what this life is about anyways. It's like, okay, why not make this the best experience ever for yourself every day? Now, don't get me wrong, it's not always going to end up like that, but it doesn't matter what you experience. You can transform any one of those experiences into a said good thing, you know?
Yeah, life is short, man. You got to kick a lot of ass. And who knows what that looks like? That's going to be different for everybody. Do big things, baby.
Dude, you gotta do them big things, bro. And also, and those big things are the daily actions towards gratitude, I feel like.
Yeah.
Daily actions towards gratitude, because like a great story is, I pull up to this one stop, and this guy, I guess he owns the lot. It's like, oh geez, like Alameda or something. It's down south, like near Santa Fe Boulevard. But he owns the lot, right? So he has a wood whatever restoration shop or something, and then there's a Metro PCS, and then there's like an insurance shop on the top, right? So there's two businesses, probably a third business in the back or whatever, and then he has his business, and then there's a parking lot, and then there's a busy street. So it's like you have to pull in there to do those two stops. Like why would you pull way around the corner, and then either way you can pull right up there? Well, anyways, I've seen this guy like 4 or 5 times, right? Well, the last time I seen him, I pull up, right? I haven't seen him for about a year. My hair's longer this time. And so I hop out. I'm like, nice, this guy's not here yet, so he's not going to talk shit to me. Because every time he comes up and he's like, you water guys, I've told you a million times, don't drive on my parking lot. And we're like, okay, like weirdo.
Isn't that what parking lots are for?
Your parking lot, right?
Right.
Anyway, so whatever, I pull up, and I finish the delivery. I'm like writing the delivery down, and all of a sudden I see somebody block me in from behind, and it's this fucking dude, right?
Okay.
And so this guy, so like I immediately jump out, grab another bottle, and go and finish the last whatever, and then I come out again, and he's just like standing there by the truck, and he's like pissed. He's like, I've told you, you mudda truck and water guys so many times. He's all swearing, going off, and then all of a sudden I was about to go off and totally just feed into the same level of consciousness that he was. But then I'd had this little ting, and I was like, sir, I have never seen you before. I am so sorry. I apologize. And then I just played it out, right?
Just
and
make it a game.
Yeah, I made it a game. So I beat him at his own game. Not beat him, I just met him at a higher level. And then what do you know? I start talking, I'll write a note, sir, so that next time nobody drives in your driveway. All right, I'll make sure I got you, and whatever. And then he like leaves, comes back, and gives me like a weed magazine. he's like, I'm really not a dick, man. He's like, I'm just tired of you guys driving on my parking lot. And I'm just like, and then I'm just like, it's all right, dude, or whatever. And then he's like, I'm really impressed with how you handled that. He's like, this is like fucking 40 years older than me,
He's like, I was a total dick. You did all right. Yeah, I told you I almost got in a fight the other day.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, dude. I mean, it was
like,
totally
what?
This other guy, man, like the whole thing made me just feel sorry for that poor guy. Like this guy's kind of, he's an older dude, and he was just so aggressive and just so out of line and just so mad over absolutely nothing. And I just thought, man, like, I just don't want to be that guy when I get to be his age, that was the lesson I took away from it. Like, man, that could easily be me, but man, I just don't want to Because when I was young, I was Mr. Road Rage, and
Oh yeah.
get out of the car and just be a dick to people. And
you want to fight?
yeah. Oh, dude, too much of that crap. And I don't want to be doing that when I'm 55, 60 years old. So I guess there was a lesson there. But yeah, people are crazy.
That's enlightened right there, bro. Because it's like that's that serenity prayer right there. Because it's like, well, that doesn't serve anybody.
No.
Like how are you leaving the world a better place by treating people like shit?
Right.
and
But
it's
then
like it's easy to.
There's the part of me that studied martial arts my entire life too, and I'm like, I could
You're
just
like, let's go, motherfucker.
Dude, come on, please take a swing, man. This will be over before it even starts.
Make a move, Johnny.
I know. Come on, man. But dude, yeah, it's not easy, man. Like once my temper gets to a certain level and you push me over the edge, ooh, man, you gotta watch out. I have to watch out.
Yeah,
it's still something I have to watch. Right.
And there's infinite ways to get triggered,
Right.
So it's like, all right, fuck. At some point, I love this quote too. Kyle Kingsbury said this quote, dude. At some point, we each, I think he says fight fire with water, but I like to say embrace. At each point, at some point in each of our lives, we have to learn how to embrace fire with water, on a emotional relationship, life aspects, because it's like fire with fire just fucking burns everybody, just burns bridges, burns it. So it's like, all right, well, how can I not rub the sticks? Because some people are just out there trying to rub sticks, dude, and just trying to start fires, but that requires us to put our stick out for them to rub, but if we just pull our sticks back, we just pull our sticks back and we got the softy, bro. We don't have to, life doesn't have to be so hard.
Dude, I wonder what Freud would say about this.
About the sticks?
Yeah. Samson's like, you got to pull your stick back, man.
I'll ask him in the dream worlds tonight.
Yeah.
What up, Freud? Sigmund? Dude, I'm telling you. And then that's the thing too, because it's like we're getting hit by professional level mind control, like beyond professional level, like military grade mind control in the daily. So it's like, I mean, I don't really blame people for being angry. I just try to hold more compassion, and just try to be more kind, because it's like, it's that saying where it's like, you have no idea what the other person's going through, so it's like, fuck it, might as well be kind, because then if you're kind, then hopefully that light does shine back, and love is a boomerang. So it's like, send that boomerang of love instead of fucking hate or whatever, because that person did X, Y, and Z. An eye for an eye leaves us all blind. And if you haven't noticed, fucking Cyclops is everywhere.
The one-eyed man is king in the land of the blind.
Yeah. Or the one-armed man. The one-armed man is a tripod in the land of the iPhones. That didn't sound as good out loud.
So I got to ask you, and this is a question you ask everybody, and it's a question that people can either be annoyed with, or it can be a perfect opportunity to open up for a cool conversation. But almost every time you see someone, you're like, what's been the best part of your day? And, it's like, yeah, like I said, like sometimes that can be really annoying, especially if you haven't had any good parts of your day, like, damn, I just woke up. I'm still grouchy, man. Come on.
Yeah, nothing
hit me with
yet.
That. Yeah.
Nothing yet.
Nothing.
And no judgments too.
Yeah. But I'm sure you've gotten some unique answers because you ask almost everybody that. But Samson, what's been the best part of your day so far?
Shoot, my dude, talking to you.
Hell yeah.
But then also, I had a pretty next level meditation earlier. I almost passed out. I entered. So there's this space where you're not quite asleep and you're not quite awake.
Okay.
It's like lucid dreaming kind of, right? But the space that I was in was more of just like experiencing it, not lucid, to where lucid is like where you can control your dream, right? I was just the full experiencer. And so it was crazy because I was halfway in between sleeping and waking. And then usually I hate naps. You know, like one of my least favorite feelings is that groggy feeling when you wake up. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Like another one that tops that is when you get the lavas of anesthesia in your fucking veins and you wake up from any type of general anesthesia, and then that grogginess is the worst. I'll take nap grogginess over anesthesia grogginess any day. but yeah, man, it was that meditation and then talking to you, my brother. What about you?
So I'd say it's a toss up between the bike ride I took today. I took a really chill bike ride, like just around town, like almost no, like whenever I go for a bike ride, it's like, I need to hit these hills. I need to get at least 1,000 feet of vert. And I put too much stress and pressure on myself. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh,
sorry. Keep going.
No, that's right. And so I just went on a super easy bike ride today that was really chill and refreshing, rejuvenating. So it's a tie between that and the blizzard that I had at Dairy Queen today.
Nice.
I gotta be honest. Oh, that's pretty high up on the list. Did you do a full tour? How many miles do you usually do?
No,
so today I just rode on the bike paths around Boulder. So I think I did like 25 miles. So,
holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was
you say that like it's nothing, dude.
Oh, it was super chill though.
How long did that take you?
It's like a couple hours, just tooling around.
Okay, that's not that bad.
I went for a dip in that little spot.
It sounds like a lot.
I went for a dip in the little spot that you and I went. Yeah, went swimming.
Oh, I can't wait to do that again.
Oh, I know.
That's going to be epic.
It wasn't bad at all today. But
hopefully there's an ice sheet.
Oh, yeah. We got to take an axe out there and break through, and we're going.
Do a little hole.
In.
Do a little penguin, dude.
That was
but yeah,
fun,
no,
man.
so the dude, that sounds epic. And that was fun. But damn, that's cold.
Oh, in the wintertime when we did that was cold. That was awesome.
So good, dude.
So good.
Talk about benefits.
Oh, dude, we were on fire afterwards, but we're also we're on fire, but we were shivering. Like, oh, yeah. Turn the heat on the car, man.
You're just like vibrating, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I felt after the most recent energy work this weekend, bro.
What's some of the craziest answers you've gotten when you ask people that? What's been the best part of your day? Have you gotten some pretty out there responses?
Yeah, dude, it's funny because like at first it's like there's like a judgment that rises up within myself when somebody's like, nothing yet, or nothing, or there's like a shitty response, right? In my like, it's like, oh, fuck you then, but then it's like oh, cool, so like there's medicine right there. So none of them have really been out there, but I think it's cool because some people just like stop and think about it more.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll be like, talking to my daughter this morning, or hanging out with my cat, or going for a walk and just meditating, or like just I think the coolest thing is how many different type of perceptions and perspectives that there are out there, right? And then how many types that are similar, because you go to one spot and it's like, yeah, the work environment here seems like it's shit. No wonder you haven't had a fucking good day yet,
right?
It's like you got the lights just blaring at you, and you got like a quota, or it's like King Supers and it's like 55 cases per hour. It's like, oh my god. You try to like ask some of those people, they're like, and then like some of them are super chill, and they're like, just relaxing or whatever. So it's like there hasn't been that many like out there answers, but it's just interesting. Yeah, well, yeah, me too, honestly. Like maybe it's just because it's not out there to me. because
Yeah.
nothing's really out there.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I would say that the coolest thing is just the realm of, you know, perspectives that is really out there, right? Like that one guy, when we were delivering that one day, he's like, nothing yet. I don't know my coffee. It's like, oh, you're like, whoa, dude, enjoy it.
I know. It's like when you ask someone, how's it going? And they're like, so far, so good. And I'm like, okay, what are you expecting something bad to happen? Like,
you know, what are you
doom
going
and
to do
gloom?
with that?
Yeah, right. I hate that answer. But I also hate like just the common way that people at work or people wherever you're like, hey, how's it going? And good. How are you? I'm good. And you
There's
don't
just no
people,
connection.
there's no connection. Nobody's even thinking about what they're saying. And you just come straight out and you're like, hey, what's been the best part of your day so far? And so, yeah, it's just like, it's a new way to open up for some great conversation to blossom if it happens. But it doesn't always
Yeah.
happen that way, you know?
Yeah. No, it doesn't, but it does. It does create some sort of you know, bridge for a genuine connection, you
Yeah.
know, with
Right.
another person. Because if you think about it, it's like, okay, you're going to see millions of people in your entire life, you know, and out of those millions of people, like, are you actually going to like connect with them, or do you even want to? Right? Like, why? And that's probably the thing. It's like, well, why? Like, people don't care or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, it's that simple thing where it's like, okay, if I can treat every single person like if they're the most important person on earth, every single person I'm interacting with. And of course it's easier said than done, you know, because it's like this person's treating you like shit or whatever, and the normal response is to like give it back,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because it's like that's what we've been conditioned to do. But when we can like stop ourselves, you know, and actually like think and be like, yeah, you know what has been, you know. And it's easy for me to say too, because it's like I can be like, you know, oh, just talking to you, but it's like I actually mean it, you know, because I'm actually in the fucking present moment, invested.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because that one has gotten a lot of people to be like, oh wow, like that's such an awesome, you know, question, and like they actually appreciate it. And then they open up, you know, and you're like, holy shit, like, you know, I don't think I'd ever normally talk to this doctor or whatever at this, you know, in this whatever clinic, you know, for a second that I did, and actually, you know, connect and see what they're interested in and all these things. And it's like, oh shit, we're actually more similar than we think,
Right.
you know? Because
Right.
it's like we're all needing the basic necessities of life, right? We're all needing love, connection, support, um, expression, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, well, we all can be here for each other, but to the level that like we keep diving into our technology, and you know, that's just more division in a way, right? It's not authentic connection. Like it is, like I've met a lot of super cool people online, don't get me wrong, right? Like through Instagram or whatever, like people that are healers and like everything in between, stuff that just completely blew my mind open, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also have wasted a shit ton of time.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's just like weeding through the garbage, you know. So it's like it is like that thing where it's like, okay, well, we all have this access to this supercomputer, so at any moment we could put on different type of music that'll alter our state of consciousness. You know, we could put on some screamo, and that might leave you like, yeah, dude, I don't know, I think I want to get out of this place, bro. It's like, it's kind of weird, you know, or like some some heavy gangster rap or whatever, you know. They got the subs bumping. Like I'll always remember this flashback to my childhood. There used to be this coke dealer that would drive up and down the like main road that I lived at when I was raised in northern New Mexico in Cerro. And they would always be bumping their subs, you know, at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, um it would make my mom lose it. Like she would flip out. She would like tell my stepdad, like, you need to go stop these fucking coke dealers or whatever, right? And I'm like 12, yeah, like 12, 13. And I knew the dealers, of course. But I remember my stepdad early in the morning one day, like threw a 2x4 in the road, and they would like speed by our house going like 120 or whatever, right? Like you call the cops in this small town, and it takes like, 45 minutes to a day for them to get out there, So whatever, my stepdad throws this like massive 2x4 in the road, and then I'm just like waiting for the bus, like, what the fuck? And then he's like, oh shit. And then like he like thought about it. He had to pull the 2x4 out of the road because he didn't want to kill him. He thought, he was like, oh no, if they hit that, the car's gonna flip and they're gonna die. And then of course, in the small town, everybody knows each other. So it's like, it's fucking crazy. It's madness. But anyways, the point of this story was, I just remember like people and substances, right? It's something as simple as like music, right? Like something as simple as music can either connect or separate, right? Something as simple as coffee, tea, cocaine, Adderall, alcohol, you name it, right? You name the substance, can either connect or disconnect, right? It can connect or separate. And so it's like, fuck. So it's like how we do one thing is how we do everything. And I remember it's like the most powerful lesson that I think I learned from my mom is like the ability, and not even just my mom, but from majority of people that gave me examples of living that were not thriving. They were more like on the negative or death spectrum, right? They weren't sustainable ways to live. And so I'd seen these examples from a young age and was like, okay, shit, I'm going to be more grateful. I'm not going to, hold animosity or hold anger for, another person, because it doesn't serve, because I've seen that as an example, And so all these different experiences that I've had in my life where it's just like this doesn't make any sense at all. Like I should be like, gone in the next world or something, and it's like no, everything is happening for us, or to us. And it's like, well, all right, what side of the positive or the negative are we standing on? Because we could stand right in the middle, we all have like that superpower of choice. Well, of course, it's easier said than done. It's like sometimes you just don't feel like showing up for the world, and it's like, you know what, maybe it's like make some space for yourself and enjoy whatever you need to for that moment, and then go out and do whatever you need to do. We don't have to do anything. We're not tied to anything. I think that's the idea, is that especially us, right, in the US, we're so the more bills you have and the more like attachments, the more we're kind of like trapped, compared to like somebody who's like living on the beach. Like they're more free than any of us. Like we got bills and all these things, and so it's like, well, damn, how can I be caught in the matrix and then also transform the matrix while inside of the matrix by simply focusing on myself? And it's like, fuck it. That's
Dude,
what we're doing. You're Neo and Morpheus, dog.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to get out of that matrix right now.
I'm gonna fill up that bottle.
Yeah.
You got this, dude.
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to moving on. And I want to I'm going to start to wind our way down here, and I want to read you something that I don't know if you've ever heard. I'm looking it up right now.
Deal.
Okay.
Sounds Gucci.
So there's this poet who I've mentioned on this podcast before, and I think I've read some of his stuff. He was a poet and a writer. He wrote a few novels, but he was like this. He was this old guy who was pretty rough and had worked a lot of really rough jobs and been homeless for a long time, hardcore alcoholic. But he was always writing throughout his whole life. And throughout the later part of his life, he worked in a post office. He worked like nighttime at the post office as a clerk. And this whole time he's writing, and he's trying to write these poems and get them published, and he's sending them off, and everyone thinks he's like this creepy old man. And but on the inside, he's like just a gentle giant, right? Like he's done a lot of rough and shitty things in his life, and he's like hardcore alcoholic, but inside he's like this gentle giant. Anyways, the dude's name is Charles Bukowski, and he wrote a lot of great things and a lot of crappy things. But so this is a short poem that I'm going to read that he wrote. And this thing inspired me. This piece of writing has inspired me more than so many things in life, like all the ultra marathons that I've run, and just, it's been a huge inspiration. I always come back to it. So anyways, this is a poem called Roll the Dice by Charles Bukowski. If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. And you will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it, do it, do it, do it. All the way, all the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is.
Oh, bro.
Dude, is that fire?
That's powerful, dude.
Dude, I read that a couple times a year at least, and it always fires me up.
Yeah, that's profound, man.
Good stuff.
Blessed beyond measure, my dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to remember where the thought of that story about the 2x4 and the bumping music, I finally, it came back to me. So the point of all that, the moral of that story was, that person, my stepdad, moved the 2x4, and then I was waiting for the bus with my sister, and I remember the dealer drove by and their windows were down, and of course they're all geeking, you know, they've been on a mission for like 20 plus hours, you know. Like you could just look at some demons driving a Camaro. But you just go, it's like it I've had this moment many times in my life where I'm face to face with the devil, whether it be myself or another person, right?
Totally.
But in all reality, other people are just reflections of ourselves. And so the ability of being like, you know, like, wow, I'm that too.
Totally. That's another version of me right there. That's what I could be. That's what I used to be. That's what I'm going to be. That's what I'm scared of.
If I get too caught up, you know, in the fear things, it's like, so what? Mm-hmm. Right? I'm here right now. I can anchor myself into this present moment, being the best that I can possibly be by whatever means that are available to me. Right? Mm-hmm. Like however we choose to see it and say it and do it, you know? Mm-hmm. But dude, I love you, brother. Hopefully they'll send me with you a little bit this week.
Yeah, I know. Make it happen.
I'm manifesting it fully.
I know. One more week to go, buddy. Well, listen, man, thanks for doing this. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
As always, this is like what, your third time on this show? Do you remember? It's been a while, though. Yeah, it's been a while.
Fourth. Yeah, it's been a while. We'll get more on.
I know. We got.
You know we will,
dude. I know it. Where can people find you?
The Spaceman Samson on IG.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best place.
Oh yeah.
Or reach out to you.
Okay. I'll put a link in the show notes so folks can find you. Are you still
Eco Elevation on wherever you listen to podcasts, and then what is it? I think it's Spaceman Samson, or Midnight Toker 420 or something on SoundCloud. But yeah, music coming out soon. Been working on that. I've been caught in the writer's block thing. It's either like flowing really good or it's not, or it is. So it's like it's like, all right, just go with the flow, you know.
Yeah.
Try not to rush things. Right. It's like why rush things? Just
Right.
tap into our beingness. Right. We don't gotta let go of the pressure, release, surrender, and be your best. Because why not?
Are you still
It's like,
are you still making art that people can buy?
yeah. So I am doing the like organized pieces and stuff that I make out of like epoxy resin. Still doing those. I kind of like toned down on that just because I've been like so full throttle in this like spiritual fucking Merlin avatar meat suit that is this, you know. Like the most recent one was I did some energy healing work at the top of the Bosnian pyramid. Have you ever heard of the pyramids in Bosnia?
No.
So it's where Basim's from, dude,
Right.
the pyramids.
Right.
So that there's this giant mountain in Bosnia, and it's actually a fucking pyramid. It's
Underneath
like the
everything.
largest, yeah, it's like the largest pyramid on the planet or whatever, right? And so astrally did some energy work, and there's this room. There used to be all the energy healing used to go down at the bottom of the pyramid as to like a couple of years ago. Well, the latest addition is if you just visualize yourself in this capstone at the top of a pyramid. So it's kind of like this one. You can just visualize like this one, but the idea is you're at the top of this pyramid, visualizing, of course, right? Because we're astrally, so it's all imagination and intention. So if you're intending, you're there, and you drop into your heart. But there's this crystal bed, right? So it looks like a marble slab bed, right? And then there's crystals all around it, and so you imagine laying on this bed at the top of this capstone in this Bosnian pyramid in Russia, and there's 3 groups of beings that are there. There's me and what is it? Oh, here we go. It's the group that is me and all the beings that are here for my highest and greatest good, and I believe that you're part of that group. And then there's another group that is for the beings that are you and for your highest and greatest good. And then there's the beings that are here for the highest and greatest good of all of creation. And so basically this idea is you just imagine you're in this healing chamber, you're laying on this concrete crystal marble slab bed, but when you lay on this crystal concrete marble slab bed, it's lighter than a feather when you actually lay on it. And so what happens is you just visualize dropping into your heart. So like with that first breath, imagine connecting your heart to the heart of Mother Earth. And that second breath, connecting your heart to the heart of all of creation. Source, soul, creator, God, however you choose to see that and say it. And then that third breath, merging earth, sky, and you into the sacred space of your heart. Now, if you like, you can imagine just everything and anything that no longer serves you as just like wisps of smoke, just floating away, just peeling away, floating away, however you choose to see that and say it. And this crystal bed is lighting up, integrating all soul aspects throughout all timelines, dimensions, and realities, so that you are more of your soul. Your soul is more you in every single cell of your being. And then so that's like the idea of some journey work, right? So that's like a meditation journey work style that my brother took me through. Brian Besco of Twisted Safe Studios, the guy who created this pyramid last weekend, took me there. And then I learned another one like the cool thing about this is like there's this meditation album. Like I'm sure you've heard of Wu-Tang Clan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the main guy, Wu-Tang Clan, he's the RZA.
Oh yeah, of course.
And so he recently, back in 2020, came out with a meditation album.
Oh really?
I think it's called like RZA Guided Meditation. Check it out. It's epic. Well, anyways, why I brought that up is one of the tracks on his like meditation album. It's like 5 or 6 tracks. It's like this idea where he walks you through a meditation process where you build your island, right?
Okay.
And so definitely you could like search it on YouTube. The full album's on YouTube, and just go through it. That's like, even that, you know, it's something as simple as that, right? Drop into your heart, go through that process of whatever, you know. And so it's like you can create the healing space for yourself, because in all reality, like I'm a certified healer, right? But like I'm not technically healing anybody. I'm just holding a space for somebody to heal themselves, because we are, you know, even when you take a drug, right, whether it be you know, ibuprofen or whatever it may be, you know, most of the time the things that are affecting you is the placebo effect, is the effect of like, oh, I'm gonna take these and it's gonna help me. Like that's what's helping you. Like you're healing yourself by like, oh yeah, it's helping me. Da-da-da-da, you know. So it's like, what the fuck? We're really powerful,
right?
You know. And so a more recent one is, imagine you're at that pyramid, but you could even go off world to a different place that is like a pyramid with the top cut off so that the light can shine through, and there's like the central sun of suns, but it's like the central tree of life. So it's just like this massive tree inside of a pyramid with the top of the pyramid cut off, so the rays of light are hitting the tree. And I visualize like the bed is inside of the tree, and so you're laying in this, like, you know, you can take it even extra dimensional, you know, like so far out there to where it's like, okay, facilitate your own healing, you know. So I wanted to leave us with that, some powerful visualization guided meditation, you know, because it's like, use our imagination, like tap into it, bro. Like think about it, like we are so limitless, but the problem is most of our imaginations got like snuffed out, you know. Like we got to rekindle that flame, Poppy. Like, you know, get the Bunsen burner, get the blowtorch, get the Elon Musk flamethrower if you must, and set that fire again, Poppy, you know. Like
never let that spark go out. Never.
And if it is, just refire it up. You can fire it up at any time, you know.
Yes,
but
sir.
it's from doing these habitual things that are not small things or are not big things, and they be holding us back, you know. So it's like, claim our sovereignty.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, we got this, Poppy. We're blessed beyond measure, my dude.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. Well,
dude,
I'm blessed, and I'm a better person for knowing you, man. So I always appreciate chatting with you, and yeah, thanks, dude.
Ditto, brother. I love you unconditionally, and truly the entire universe is a better place because you were in it. So just keep on keeping on and keep on being you, and remember to not take all this so seriously. You know, I think it's easy for us to, you know, get caught in the seriousness of it all. You know, it's like, damn, I gotta be this. It's like, no, like laughter is sacred too. And you know, of course there's a time and place to be serious, and there's a time and a place for everything. But I think if we do hold more, you know, empathy and compassion and just like joy and exuberance and excitement for all things, then the more we're just going to keep experiencing that, you know. And it's like, fuck it, dude, we're here to multiply our value times 100-fold in every single moment of every single day by just simply, you know, being the best that we can be in every single moment. Fuck everything else.
Life is but a game, buddy. Life is but a game.
All is well in all of creation, my brother.
Oh,
I love you.
Cool. Love you too, man.
I'll exit with a little crystal singing bowl vibe for you. Let's see. Oh wait, there's a giant. That won't work. Let's see. There we go. Get you some vibrations in your earlobes.
Ram, 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 ram.
Did I ever tell you I went to a cult that kind of was like that? They'd be like Nam Yoho Renge Kyo, Nam Yoho Renge Kyo. And just kidding, don't mean to offend anybody. It's not a cult, but it did feel kind of like that at the place that I was at that one time. But the idea of it is beautiful, you know, Nam Yoho Renge Kyo. But in all reality, you know, I like the hey he hi ho hu one. Just sing them vowels.
Yeah.
Or even just hum in any way, you know.
Yeah, it's the vibration, right?
Yeah. Why do you think cats purr? And dogs kind of purr too. I guess they're more like growls, but you know,
it's the vibration. It's the vibration of the earth.
Energies, frequencies, and vibrations. I'm sending infinite, unconditionally loving light, energies, frequencies, and vibrations to you all, whether it be day or night. Love the life you live.
Yeah. Samson, you're badass. Keep doing you, buddy.
Poppy.
Oh,
you're
man.
badass, bro.
I always love talking. Always love talking to you. You know where I live, dude. I'm not going anywhere, but yeah, man.
Stay you'll close. See me.
Stay in touch.
Especially when you know I'm gonna have that route, so I'll be able to swing by and say, hey.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Oh, great spirit. I love you, my dude. Take it easy, and I'll see you on the other side of the sun.
All right. Love you too. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, brother. Blessings eternal.
Peace.
Oh, great spirit.